Hello there, this is for Sunday the 19th of September, the 16th Sunday after Trinity, and the Gospel reading is from Mark chapter 9. A little story where the disciples are arguing amongst themselves who is the greatest. But Jesus takes a child, brings a child into the midst of them and says, whoever wants to be first must be last of all and servant of all. And he puts this child, taking this child in his arms, he says, whoever welcomes one such child in my name welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. What we see is the disciples jostling for position, just funnily enough, a bit like children. Remember, I'm the leader, no, I'm the leader. Ironic then that Jesus takes a little child. In the world of that time, children had no power and no significance. Their only importance really was that they were a reflection of their families and their continuation of the family and the line and the tribe. We don't know what the child's name was, how old it was, whether boy or girl, and most of us can't remember back much before we were 5 or 6, but perhaps you can remember that. You can remember what it was like being small in a world of giant adults, how the treads on the stairs were quite hard to get your feet up. You couldn't reach the tall cupboards, you had to stand on a chair, but when you sat on a chair your legs dangled and you couldn't reach the floor. And cast your mind back and remember how much you didn't know or understand when you were a child of that age, especially the adult world when you were 5 or 6. The things, the vocabulary you didn't know, the skills you hadn't acquired before you could read or write properly, much less write a cheque or drive a car or even ride a bike. Remember what it was like to be treated by some adults who would ignore you or just not even notice you, and how what you thought and felt often wasn't heard or even asked for. Now adults made all the decisions. Whether they meant to or not, whether we mean to or not, we adults can often send out a message that might and size and greatness are all that really matter. The great always control the small and always should. Well, we've seen a bit about greatness and people jostling for position in the recent cabinet reshuffle, haven't we? But Jesus takes a child and says, whoever welcomes this child in my name welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. So Jesus upends all the ideas of greatness and power. It's not who's on trend on Twitter, who's the most important influencer, or the powerful or the rich that really matter to God, or who is Foreign Secretary or Deputy Prime Minister for that matter, but a child, seemingly the least and least important. We all need to acknowledge the least amongst us and the least part of ourselves, the bits we overlook. Just the church must welcome the least as best we can. For when we do that, we provide a true welcome, we get our relationships right with each other and with God, and in welcoming the least, we welcome God.